$18 million richer, I'm going to show you what you can learn from Victor Hovland's golf swing. Something a little bit different. Today I'm going to talk you through Victor Hovland's golf swing. Just won FedEx Cup, one of the biggest players in the world right now. Ryder Cup looms, and I'm sure he's going to have not only a great Ryder Cup, but a career for many years to come in my eyes. A lot of what I talk about is really exhibited in Victor Hovland's golf swing, and I'm going to talk you through it. Victor address, there are many attributes to an address position, and fundamentally they can be very different. One of the ingredients that I'm always keen on exhibiting with a golfer at address is a club shaft angle, 90 degrees to the spine. Again, very much that geometry here at address. How much Victor stands away from the golf ball is up for debate. I'm not a fan of the handle being out in front of the shoulders. I like to see the handle a little bit more under. I like to see the handle under the middle of the shoulder rather than the butt of the golf club out in front. Something, again, I'm always very keen to encourage is a pelvis back of the center line of the feet. So often I hear of golfers wanting to place the pelvis or the bum line in line with the heels. I just don't believe that to be a good sound foundation for what we're trying to do above the belt line. From here, there's a couple of areas of the golf swing that I'm always interested in. First of all, the right hand, the trail hand, as people like to call it now, and the glute line. These 2 points are hugely influential in so many factors. The tail of the dog, the head, really is reflecting what's going on through the feet. So I pay less attention to the head because it really is the tail of the dog. I'm going to do a recap with an iron as well and from face on. So a lot of golfers really talk about getting the club head out in front of them. Now you can see with Victor here, the hand has very much moved inside. And I talk about this all of the time. The hand has moved inside and the club head has not swung in and out. The left arm is now inside of where it started. Those of you out there that believe that the handle should move away, the club head should move away from you to keep it outside the handle, it just is not true. Look where the arm started, look where the arm has finished by the time the club shaft is parallel to the floor. Now, the more the handle tracks back inside, the more we tend to see a shaft pitch. By the time the left arm is working parallel to the floor, we tend to see a shaft line pointing more inside of the golf ball. Because this weight of club head is swinging freely, either back or forwards, the handle at which gets pushed out or in will really reflect on what that tail of the dog, the club head, is doing as he moves that golf club back. Now we start to see a real strong lift of the arms in Victor's case. Let's see what happens to this club shaft as he elevates his arms up much higher than we would traditionally see a golfer. Left arm is above the pitch and angle of the shoulders, and the club shaft is very much pointing across him at the top. I'm not a massive fan of this in any way, shape or form. As we pull this handle forwards to some degree, and I talk about this a lot in my videos, I'll just take that head circle away. The weight of that club head is going to try to pull itself back here. It can't go anywhere else unless those arms try to stop it. Also, a point of note is where that glute line is. The glute is deep right hip is deep. It has not moved off of that golf ball. And for those golfers that really don't believe a right leg should straighten out, we can see from where he's started to where he's finished at the top of his backswing, that right leg has got longer and has got straighter. And we've now got a lovely gap between the knee line at the top of the backswing. As he then starts to move down, I'm going to draw a line up at the top of the backswing where the handle was. And I am going to now move Victor down into his downswing. Now, the amount that handle pulls down, and I can assure you he's not trying to pull it down, the handle pulling down is a cause because the club head is kicking back. When you've got that weight kicking back over there, it will suck the handle down. Then as he starts to move the handle with every moment, so that left arm is nowhere near parallel to the ground. Look at that handle, how it's moving forwards on the way down. So I'm going to draw a line through those dots. Excuse me, I'm going to draw a line through those dots. And that's the pull line of the golf club. And look what's happened to the shaft as it does that. The club head was over here. And as he pulls it forwards, look how the club head has moved back in this direction, quite aggressively. Let's get rid of a lot of those lines there. Now the handle is out in front of where he started. So this red line was placed on the right hand of the golfer. And we go another frame in, and the right hand is still out. Now watch. Now the handle is back in. So when you think about the direction, the handle is being pulled through strike. It is going down, and I'll take all of those lines away. The handle is going down and left. But understand that it's reached the bottom. He will feel like the handle is continuing to go down, but the handle is now going left. Look at the direction that the club head is going in. That's the handle, that's the head. Look at the direction. The handle is going in, and look at the direction the head is going in. So we now have a handle that's gone to the left of where it was in delivery, and we now have a club head to the right of where it was in delivery. So the handle has gone left, the club head has gone right. And it's this motion that causes the club head to square. And when people talk about going down and to the left, this is what he feels like. This is not what he is actually doing. And this right forearm is trying to move this way in rotation and not tucking down and pushing out to the right. It is quite simply a load of horse, you know what. So please stop doing it. And so now, as we come through, no matter what the club head is doing at this point, will be very much reflective of what the strike and contact point was. And so the more the handle post-strike starts to go left, it pulls the golfer more into side bend. And this side bend is only as good as the amount of pressure the golfer can move from the toe to the heel of the left foot. Now you can see that Victor, in this swing, has got a lot of pressure on the toe of his left foot and is fighting for balance. But he's young and he's pretty flexible. For me, I would much rather see him a little bit more on the heel of the foot there. But listen, he's just won 18 million bucks. Who am I to argue with that? Let's take a little face-on look at Victor. So here we have him with the driver, and we get him moving back. At the top of the backswing, he's in pretty good order, isn't he? Now, for me, I'm a bit of an advocate of a left hip a bit more on top of the left ankle. Now, the camera angle is slightly skewed, and we'll see it a little bit more with his face on with an iron when we get him to the top of his backswing. We can see how the left hip, again, a slightly skewed camera angle, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad a camera angle, but the left hip being nicely on top of the left ankle. Now, in both of these moves downwards, what I want you to pay particular attention to is what that left foot is doing. Now look, I'm going to draw a line down through his left hip, and as he starts to move the golf club down, remember the old days of driving the left hip forwards and bumping across and all that absolute nonsense? That left hip has not moved towards the target. If that left hip has not moved towards the target, there is only one thing that is stopping him from doing that, and that is that left foot. That right foot is not driving him in this direction. And so this left hip going back is absolutely the ingredient that is helping Victor move his handle forwards at this point. So the handle forwards at this point here is absolutely a byproduct of, in downswing, that left foot pushing him back. Now look, these are just some of the ingredients, and there is much to talk about Victor's golf swing. And I haven't even got started on the club face. But one of the things that Victor's got is a very, very strong club face, as we all know. At the top of his backswing, hallelujah, he is as strong as an ox with that club face pointing up to the sky. Now, because of how well he moves the handle, one of the ingredients that helps him stop hitting it left is the bend in his left arm, because the bend in his left arm is like the cricketer blocking a shot through contact. It is giving him an opportunity to hold the face off. And so don't change the bend of the left arm. You would need to change the face orientation, because you can see, and as I've depicted in one of my angle of attack videos, when I draw a line underneath Victor's club head at the point, and I'm just going to move that line. Look at the rise up of Victor's club head through strike here. Now this is a not very scientific way, but you can certainly see a rise up of the club head through strike. But if I then zoom back out, you're able to see shafting. And so shafting creates an angle of attack down, but a spine angle backwards would and a bend in the left arm would help Victor create an angle of attack upwards. When you understand the many facets of a golf swing, you really start to unearth what is important and what's not important. I hope you enjoyed just a few insights into what make Victor's golf swing tick. It's a great swing. There are ways he could get better, in my opinion. But $18 million richer, I'm pretty sure he's very content where he's at with his golf game. I think you'll find that's good coaching. I look forward to seeing you